Okay, this is Chapter 16, Work Together Problems. First problem is on page 396 in your book. This says prepare an income statement. So first we're going to carry the information over from the worksheet that is given to you in your book or in the problem. We're going to start by putting the name of the business on the first line, and it's A to Z Auto Parts. I'm going to pause the recording while I type that. So you'll notice that the fiscal period is for the year ended December 31st. So an income statement has all the information from sales through the expenses. So we have total revenue, sales, then we have purchases, and then we have all our expenses. So I will start the income statement with revenue. So I'm going to pause while I type that information in, and then I'll be back. So you can see I put revenue. The only revenue we're reporting for this business is sales. Notice how I indented that a little bit, and I put it in the credit column because sales has a credit balance. Now, percentage of sales is 100% because everything is based on sales. Now I'm going to do the cost of merchandise sold section. And remember, cost of merchandise sold, you start with your beginning inventory. Then you list what purchases you made throughout the year. And then you get your total. You add those two together, and then you subtract your ending inventory for the year. So I'm going to calculate all that information while I pause. Okay, so we started with our merchandise inventory, which was from January. This information right here, the merchandise inventory. Then we had our purchases for the year down here in our trial balance column. Those are purchases made. So now we're going to have total, and I'm just going to use the auto sum feature, and that is the total of the merchandise that was available throughout the year. Not at any specific given time, just during the year. Now I'm going to take and subtract, so I'm going to do less merchandise inventory at the end of the year. So I'm going to pause while I type that up. So my merchandise inventory at the end of the year is over here, which was the beginning of the year minus the adjustment. So when we calculated our inventory at the end of the year, we came up with $215,420, and that's how we knew what our adjustment was to inventory. So we're going to subtract that. So this will be equal sign this minus this. So I'm just going to press enter, and you see 174 becomes what's called the cost of merchandise sold. Now I'm going to take that, okay, I'm going to take that and I'm going to move that over here to the credit column. I need to grab a hold of it. Where's my little hand? Oh shoot, I'm not getting it. Should be able to. I'll just retype it for the sake of time. So 174,100 is the amount. And I'm going to calculate the percentage of, so I'm going to divide it by, 174,100 divided by 284.80, and the answer would be 61.1%. And then the next amount I'm going to have is going to be called gross profit on sales. So to get gross profit on sales, we take 284. So I'm going to do the equal sign, this, subtract this, and that's our gross profit on sales, 110. And the percentage, if you take 100 minus 61, you get 38.9%. Okay, next we're going to list all of our expenses. So that'll take me a minute. Let me pause it. Okay, so we've carried all the expense information from here to here. I'm going to total. We want to sum up this column to get our total amount of expenses, because of course there's our total profit on sales. We're going to do another formula. We're going to do equal side 110 this amount, subtract all of our expenses to get our net income for the period. Now, to do a percentage of sales, we would divide this by this to come up with what our percentages of expenses. So our expenses are right around 14.8%. Our income, if we took this divided by this, because we're always going back to sales, what percentage of sales, we would get 24.1% of our total sales was considered income. So that means the other 75.9 is what we're paying out, and we pay out for our expenses and we pay out for our merchandise. So that, except to rule and put our double underlines in our document, that is the income statement for 16.1 work together. So the 16.2 work together. The first one says A to Z Auto Parts determines that no more than 63 cents or 63% of each sales dollar should be devoted to cost of merchandise sold. So they want us to compare the actual component percentage for cost of merchandise to the acceptable percentage. Indicate if the actual component percentage is acceptable or unacceptable. If it's acceptable, suggest an action that corrects it. All right, so our cost of merchandise sold, they want it to be no more than 63%. If we go back to the back here, we see that cost of merchandise sold was 61.1. So the actual rate was 61.1. Gross profit on sales, we go back here, gross profit on sales was 38.9. So we plug that in. So they don't want it more than 63. So was it an acceptable result? Yes. So we put an X in there. Was gross profit on sales not less than 37? Yes. So we're in the acceptable range, which means we need no action. So that's what they wanted us to do for 16.2 work together. So next is 16.3, which is on page 407 in your textbook, and it says use the A to Z Auto Parts worksheet and income statement from the 16.1 that was provided for you, and they want us to complete two things. First, a distribution of net income statement, and using the balances of the general ledger, capital, and drawing accounts from the worksheet, they want us to prepare an owner's equity statement for the A to Z Auto Parts. No additional investments were made except what we find on the worksheet. So let's start with the distribution of net income statement. So I'm going to type the heading and then I'll be back. Okay, so there's our heading, A to Z Auto Parts, distribution of net income statement, and it's for the year ended. So at the end of the year, that is when they distribute their net income or net loss. Now, we have two business owners in this business. We have a Mark Cruz. I'm not sure why that's centered. And we have a Rose Hurst. Okay, now, what we're going to do is we're going to give Mark 50% of the net income, and we'd give Rose hers. Now that's their partnership agreement. They split it. Some businesses may be different, but that's what we do here, 50%. So we took the net income from here. Their net income was $68,542, and that's what we're basing this off of. Half of that is $34,271. Same thing for Rose, $34,271. So the total we want for both, like that, and it did not like that. Not sure why, but the total, I'll just do it on the calculator, is $68,542. That is what was their net income. So that's all we have to do for a distribution of net income statement. Next, they want us to do an owner's equity statement. So let me put the heading on that and we'll do that. Okay, there was a lot of type there. So I have got Matt Cruz. His capital as of January 1, according to if I go back here, his capital starting the year is there 106,100. So going back to 16.3, his capital was 106,100. I'm going to put that in the center column. I'm going to show you because I have to do all these calculations. So we're going to do a calculation here. His share of the net income was $34,271. However, he made some withdrawals through the year. So if I go back here, it'll show me his drawing for the year was $18,450. Oh, bouncing around here. Okay, so $18,450. So he had more income than withdrawal, which is a good thing. That means we had a net increase of our capital. So he had more of an increase than a decrease. You know, he had more go into his equity than out. So there's the difference between the two, but we have to add these now, his beginning capital and then his net increase in capital. And I'm going to put the total out here because we're done calculating for Mac. Now we have to go on to the other partner. So there is his new capital amount. So that's what he'll start off next year with. Now let me do Rose's and come back to you. Now you can see I was able to copy this and paste it. You can see that from my calculations, but I'm going to go on and put in the new values. So to go back, we look at her now, Rose Hurst, and her capital starting for the year. Her drawing for the year didn't change. So let's plug that in. So we're going to start at the middle here. She was 106,700. So she's a little bit higher than he was, so he probably took an extra withdrawal at one point. There is her share of the net income. She made $18,900 of withdrawals this year, which is a little more than him, but that doesn't mean last year she might have taken a little less than him. Then the difference between the two, she still has more income than withdrawal. So her additional capital for the year is $15,000. We add that to her 106,700 that she started, and now she's 122,071. And their total, so we add the two together, their total is $243,992. So that's their net worth in their business. Now they may have more net worth in their life because, maybe they own other businesses, but their equity in this business is defined right there. So if somebody came in to buy their business and they wanted to know what their net worth was, that's what they would tell them or show them. So we go to double underline under there. We have a lot of underlines we would need in here to rule the journal, but that's our total right there. That's the total owner's equity for A to Z Auto Parts. So the last work together that we need to do is the balance sheet. and I've got another class coming in a minute. But the balance sheet, we would take all the information